Okay, we're live, right? So, welcome to this session where we're going to be talking about trader psychology, okay? Your emotion versus your success. I just love how I titled this particular one because, in truth, the moment you begin to interact actively with the market, you're going to understand that what you're up against is not even other traders, but it's your emotions, okay? So, your ability to know how to effectively manage your emotions on its own is enough reason, or it's a big win and a strong, more like, should I say, an added rank to your shoulder in terms of trying to become a profitable trader. Okay, so this is going to be a very, very exciting section, and I want you guys to pay maximum attention to it. All right, so let's proceed. All right, so trader psychology refers to the individual emotional response to the financial market. You know, each and every one of us, we're all learning cryptocurrency because you want to interact with the market. And then the moment you begin to interact with the market, whatever emotional response that you're beginning to elicit is what we call as what trader psychology. What we mean trader means what individual. Okay, you know, it's not a collection now. You know, when we're talking about market psychology, it's more like the entire market when everybody come together to form the entire market. But when we're talking about trader psychology now, it is your own individual emotional response to the financial market. Anything that has to do with investments of money, that has to do with speculation, watching price to go up and down, it tends to mess up with your psychology. So if you're not aware of trader psychology, there's going to be a problem. Okay, so being aware of some of these emotions will help you know how best to handle them. Of course, you must have heard the cliche that you can't fight what you don't know. Okay, so it's better you know about the psychological, these emotions and how they affect your trading, so you can better learn how to avoid them or stop them from interfering with your trading decisions. Okay, trader psychology sums up into the market psychology. Of course, I said trader psychology is individual, while the market psychology is a collection of every participant in the market. Okay, so these emotions can be classified under primary or secondary traits. Okay, so when I'm talking about trader psychology, you know, anything has to do with psychology has to do with emotions, right? So beyond people say fear, greed, all of this, I'm going to try as much as possible to expose you to some of the there are a lot of emotional traits that can affect your trading. Okay, but what I'm going to be doing here is expose you to some of the basics ones. Okay, I personally categorize them as primary and secondary traits, right? So don't just say you want to go on Google and start looking for primary and secondary. You might not see it. Okay, this is just my own subjective opinion of how I feel is best to categorize it in order for me to better express that particular point to you. All right. So without wasting much time, let's get on into the course properly. Okay. So the first emotion we have on our list is fear. Of course, it has to be fear. Okay, because that is the one of the major fears that affect you as a trader. Now, these emotions, when I'm explaining these are emotions you know. Okay, these are like, of course, every human being has fear. So just look at yourself like a human being because some of these emotions are going to be listed are not something that are completely new to you. Okay, what I just need to explain to you is how they affect you as a trader. Okay, so fear now comes in different form. Okay, some of the most very, very obvious one are fear of missing out. We call it the FOMO. Bitcoin they pump, or Shiba Inu they pump, Shiba Inu they pump. Before you know, Tunde has carried his money and go and buy Shiba Inu. Why? Because he was, as in, the operation was becoming too much for him. Everybody started, even somebody that does not know anything about Bitcoin is already shouting, thank you to Shiba Inu, I made so amount of money. So before you know now, Tunde is compelled to go and buy, even when he doesn't know so much about cryptocurrency. He feels like if he doesn't invest, he may play. You know that kind of feeling where they make you feel as if you're being useless for not investing in cryptocurrency. That's what I mean by what? By fear of missing out. And this is very, very dangerous form of fear. Very, very dangerous because at the end of the day, it might get you in dangerous situations that would end up resulting in bad experience. All right. We also have the fear of losing. Okay. Now, fear of losing happens probably after you begin to interact with the market, or before you begin to interact with the market, after you're done learning about tea and everything, then you want to begin to buy, or you want to begin to place a trade decision. Then before you know, you start asking yourself, what if this trade go against me? Like, is this how much I'm going to lose? I begin to fear how much you're going to lose, probably because you don't really have so much. You're coming from humble background just like me, and then you don't really have so much more that you can afford to keep on losing always, right? So now, what causes this fear of losing? Now, it's probably happens maybe, and of course, this now the one I just explained now is probably before you start interacting with the market, right? And of course, even after you've interacted with the market, fear of losing can still happen. Probably after you've gotten what back to back losing streak. By losing streak, we mean when the losses are coming back to back, like your first trade loss, second trade loss, third trade loss. It can happen up to 10 times consecutively. Sometimes even for a period of days or a period of for a period of days. I've had a losing streak that lasted for almost 2 weeks. You see maybe like six trade, four losses, one break even, two, one win. That is a losing streak. So because of you now having so much loss in the market, you begin to fear that your net rate might be a loss, and then you're already scared of what taking or what a trade decision. You're scared. That's why you see fear coming to play now. All right. So sometimes what causes this fear of losing is probably when you risk too much. Maybe you don't know how to use high leverage. You want to go as high leverage. You now begin to fear, if this thing going stop loss, now look at the amount of money I'm going to lose so much. Why? Because of what the kind of leverage you're using. The kind of leverage you're using does not support a psychological makeup. So it's going to induce fear in you. But if you're using a very, very comfortable leverage, even if the trade goes against you, you'll be at ease. But trust me, guys, there's a better way of using high leverage. Okay, I currently trade with high leverage. There's the psychology behind it, and then of course, as you progress in this course, you're going to learn about the psychology behind using high leverage. Another thing is when you go and use money that you're not supposed to use to trade, probably your school fees to trade. And before you know, fear of losing that money is going to come, and then that fear is going to interfere with you. Of course, the moment you have that fear in you, it's going to interfere with your decisions. Because any small retracement, when I mean retracement, you're going to learn about retracement and all of this certain concept along the line in the course. When the market is retracing small, instead of you to just wait for the market to actually pull back before you exit the market, but because of that small retracement, you're already fearing that this thing might take me to loss, and for you don't already exit the market. So that's how the fear of losing this thing comes into play. You're using money you're not supposed to use to trade. So what you have this kind of emotional attachment to the money. So you're scared of losing that particular money. All right. So again, the fear of losing can come in not using stop loss. Okay, a lot of people are afraid of using stop loss. Like they don't because of how they are fearful of losing some money, they prefer not to use the stop loss. They feel like even if the market they go against me, I'll not go come up for this trade until the market reverse and go back in profit. That is the mentality that's going to make a lot of people not succeed in this particular industry. In fact, it has made a lot of people not succeed in this particular industry. So fear of losing can come in various dimensions. Okay, of course, as you begin to interact with the market, you're definitely going to get more clarity. But these are just some of the basics ones or some of the obvious ones that will happen and how they can interfere with your market. Okay, another fear again is fear of not being good enough. Okay, so the moment you begin to learn, of course, you're just in the journey of learning about cryptocurrency, right? So the moment you begin to learn about cryptocurrency and a whole lot of stuff like that, what will happen next? You get to a point whereby you've known about this trading stuff, you know how to draw analysis, how to do a good analysis, but then you begin to feel as if you're not, as if you need more knowledge before you progress. That's what we call fear of not being good enough. So now that fear of not being good enough is going to hamper or if affect your confidence. And of course, the moment you're not confident in the market, you're not going to make any money. The moment your conviction is not solid enough, the moment you don't trust your analysis enough for it to play out, for you to be able to commit your money or invest your money in your analysis, then there's a problem. So fear of not being good enough is one of the fears that affect your trading. Because you can see someone will be like, I'm not good enough. So this might look like normal thing, but I'm trying to explain to you that these are not normal. There's a certain kind of psychological or emotional state that they put you that at the end of the day, it makes you not to always makes your trade not to always be in your favor. Fear of not being good enough. And of course, it affects your trading because you will not really have the confidence. You always be the only thing you do is only you just fall in love with conducting analysis, but you never take the trade because you think as if you're not good enough to take the trade. You feel as if the Holy Ghost or something needs to come and anoint you first before you begin to take a trade. Your fear of not being good enough. Okay, so this is what is a primary trait. Okay, now by now you should begin to understand how this is affecting you already. Okay, if you've ever interacted with the market, just try and calm down and ask yourself, how has fear actually made me or prevented me from taking a certain decision? Okay, even if you don't really understand this particular course, just watch it now as if you're watching the movie. Then the moment you begin to learn about that things, come back and refer back to this particular video because this is what is going to help you decide if you're actually going to progress or not. Remember, when we're talking about the pillars of successful trading, we talked about trading psychology as the number one key. In fact, 80% of your success as a trader is dependent on your ability to master your trading psychology, to find your own trading psychological edge. All right, so come back and watch this video and learn about this psychological trait and how you can better use them or improve them. Okay, so we have this fear now is what is called the primary trait. Okay, like this is what this is the most predominant emotion that will affect you as you begin to interact with the market. Okay, so let's progress now. The next one we have is greed. Of course, you know what greed is. Okay, greed is good, but if allowed in excess, it can be responsible for your downfall. Of course, like if you remember when I was talking about effective traders mindset, I talked about patience, ability to wait for analysis to play out. Now, if you don't have a good level of greed, you'll be able to wait for the crypto market to fully mature to give you what you want. It's only somebody that has a good level of greed that can hold a coin. Remember, I showed you a chart of somebody that held a coin to 20,000%. It's only somebody that has a good level of greed that can hold a coin to be giving 20,000%. Yes. Someone that does not really has a good level of greed cannot make that kind of profit. That is why greed is actually good. In as much as people paint greed as being bad, it is actually what is also responsible for you cashing out big in the crypto market. Right? So where is now when I mean greed now, people that have greed now to be able to hold on that long now, their greed is not just built out of ignorance, their greed is built solidly on knowledge because they did the analysis. So their analysis is what is the analysis is the basis for which their greed is being built upon. Unlike one newbie that does not know anything about cryptocurrency, just went and buy one cryptocurrency and then the cryptocurrency is pumping. Oga take profit. No. Oga take profit. No. That one he's just excited about the fact that his portfolio is increasing. He does not even know what is actually causing the portfolio to increase. That one is greed out of ignorance. The market can reverse and take all the profit that's given that particular guy and send that particular guy back to square one. So you can see that the greed what happens in two scenarios. While it is good in one situation, it can be bad in another situation because you can keep on holding to you can keep on holding into a profitable trade, and then because of it, you face to take profit or exit that particular market, the market will reverse and go and hit your stop loss. Because whatever that goes up will surely what come down. So if you're greedy, if you're excessively greedy, you might hold the price even when the price has gotten to the peak. You will not still sell. You're waiting to get. You want to make all the money in one single trade, and before you know, the market will reverse against you and take you out. That's happened several times. I've experienced this thing several times, and you yourself you'd experience it when you begin to interact with the crypto market, right? So this particular grid is what is a primary trait also. Okay, when I mean primary trait or secondary trait, I forgot to explain this. By primary traits, these are psychological traits that they can stand on their own. They don't really need other psychological components, other psychological or emotional states to trigger them. For example, now, greed and fear, like they happen on their own. Okay, the moment you begin to interact with the market, like they can stand on their own. But on the secondary trait now, these are traits that are formed or carved out of these primary ones. Okay, as we progress, you're going to be seeing some of these secondary traits, and you're going to better understand what I'm trying to say, right? So let us progress now. Okay, impatience. Okay, of course, you already know what impatience is. I talked about patience as one of the effective traders mindset, right? So impatience now is a what is also a what a primary trait. Okay, this is where you what impulsive trade, where you're not where you cannot wait for an answer to play out. Okay, so what happens when you're impatient to trading? You begin to take trade impulsively. Okay, normally the trading is the moment you do your analysis, you wait for price to get or give you a favorable entry position. But because of your impatience, you want to just like your body could scratch you to take a trade. You cannot sit down and wait for analysis to play out. So it's that you're going chasing the price. You cannot wait for the price to come to you. And then the moment you go chasing the price, you're going to get burnt, taking decision without thinking. Okay, regular anxiety and mental stress. Of course, the moment you're impatient, since you cannot wait, you're going to be feeling kind of burden in your head. Like oh, this price should come and come down now. So since it's not coming down now, you're not really at ease. Okay, so it can so for the fact that you're not at ease, that alone is a red flag because it can affect your analysis, it can affect your bias. Okay, and of course, I cannot emphasize how patient is, and it's a huge virtue in order for you to succeed in this particular industry. Okay, is the most now impatient is the most counterproductive psychological trait. The most I cannot really I don't want to emphasize so much on this impatience because I talked about patience extensively in the other sections. So your success in this industry is that you need to have a high level of patience. Because even if you're greedy, if you're not having enough patience, you cannot be patient enough for your greed to yield positively. Because even if you're greedy, you need to be patient enough for the price to give you maximum return. So you can see that patience is counterproductive and can ruin your chances of becoming successful in crypto trading. Right. So the next one we have is overconfidence. Of course, you know what overconfidence is pride. Okay, you're feeling as if now you're the god of cryptocurrency. And how does this pride begin to manifest in your trading decision? Number one, holding on to a losing trade. Because of you're feeling like the best technical analyst, probably you have a good track record, and then you begin to feel as if you cannot go wrong. So the moment you do your analysis, and then the analysis begins to go against you, instead of you to exit the trade, they'll probably cut your loss and say, okay, I'm wrong. Admit that you're wrong. You'll be like, no, I cannot be wrong. Never, I cannot. You now hold on to a losing trade. You're trying to protect your ego. You don't want people to probably, if you have mentors or people that are calling you boss, you don't want them to feel as if they lose. So you want to hold on to that trade until it goes back into profit. Pride, overconfidence. You'll be like, no, this analysis cannot be wrong. And then you know funny thing, even if the trade is going against you, like, okay, I missed this point. This is the next point of interest. For me, the market go reverse. You now go and add more position at that particular point. And then the market will still keep on going against you. Before you know, something is supposed to exit the market at probably 20% loss. You're already having minus 250% loss. All this I'm saying here, these are things that have affected me practically, right? So not using stop loss, of course, because of you feel like I cannot be wrong. So you say there's no need of using stop loss because my line is not figure it just always go in profit. And you know it's your stop loss. So you know, one red candle will just take portfolio in a single trade. Okay, risking more than in cryptocurrency now. I can risk this amount of like I'm this good. So any amount I put inside, pack your house rent, probably sell somebody's car or sell somebody's land, use the money and invest in cryptocurrency. And before what will happen next? Sorry for the gods. The market will just go against you, and boom, your overconfidence is working against you. Right? So then overconfidence also make you to pay less attention to this because the moment you begin to feel overconfident or full of pride, it's just like the normal life situations. Just training aspect now, but just take it to the normal situation now. When you're overconfident now, you begin to skip minor details because of your overinflated ego. Right? So this is what a primary trait too, because it happens the moment you begin to get some overconfidence is going to creep into and begin to mess up with your analysis. You can see the picture by the side there. The man thinks he's confident, he's just showing that you can see where all that are going to. That is exactly what overconfidence means. Okay. So I'm trying to call your attention to this particular thing because it's you that is going to now, just as you know that now I don't need to explain to you now how to handle overconfidence because just like the opposite of what you're hearing. So you know when they say white, maybe they give you two colors and say you choose which one is the black. If you're able to identify is white, automatically the other one becomes the black. So if I'm exposing you now to the downside of overconfidence, then you should be able to know the plus side of it. It's just the opposite, right? So let us progress. Okay, rigidity. Okay, this is subjectively holding on to a market direction for too long, regardless of whether the market has shown clear indications of heading the other way. Trust me, guys. Now, this thing is a secondary trait because it is linked to what to overconfidence. Let's say you've done your analysis and you say, the market is going to pump from here. I'm seeing a lot of confidence that the market is going to pump from here, and then you take a trade that the market is going to pump, and then the market begins to go against you. Instead of you to reanalyze the market, now when I mean subjective, means it's your own personal opinion. Instead of you to reanalyze the market and see what the market is trying to tell you, you be like, no. This I've seen now I've seen clear indication that this market is going to pump. So you're trying to impose your opinion on the market, not knowing that the market is everybody is loyal to the market. But because of you feel that you're the boss, you're the baba of TA, you want to impose your opinion on the market. So you keep on looking for buying opportunity or longing opportunity, whereas the market is heading the other way aggressively. Rigidity. So what happens, or how do you avoid the rigidity now? Of course, for so this rigidity now, be flexible. Okay, so the moment you do analysis and then the analysis go against you, redo the analysis again. Try and look for loopholes. What did you miss out? Okay, because what is what you missed out is going to help you to know how you can correct it. So you don't keep on holding on to a negative direction and then the market will be going the other. People will be making money. People that are reanalyzed, people that have accepted that they can be wrong will be reanalyzed after they are mistake will be reanalyzing the market and getting profitable. Because while you are feeling like the market must pump, I say the market must pump as if you're the owner of the market. And for the fact that the market did not pump against you, pride will not allow you to take the opposite direction. Probably you've gone on your Twitter and say market is going to pump, and then the market begins to dump. Because of you don't want to go against what you say, you don't want to chew your words, you'd end up holding that by the market must pump. At the end of the day, you end up missing out completely on all the profits that you're supposed to make. Of course, you can see that this rigidity was built, was carved out of what overconfidence. That's why it calls it a secondary trait. Right? Let us progress now. Impulsiveness, of course, this is one of my weaknesses in the market because I'm an impulsive guy. Person could just act without necessarily thinking. Just say maybe somebody's just walking and person just match you. Instead of you to just look at it, maybe it's an error for you don't slap the person. You actually act before you think. Whereas the ideal order is think before you act. But an impulsive person would act before he thinks. So this is when it comes to trading now, placing trades without thinking twice or even checking your rules. So there are certain days that I'm looking at the market, and then I just see one particular setup. Instead of me to look at my trading plan and verify if the setup actually matches my trading plan, boom, it did not even come to my mind to even check anything. I just went on my Binance, as I was so fast, and then I placed the trade. And then the moment I placed it, what happened? Stop loss, because I was impulsive, I was not calm enough to study my plan to see if actually that particular setup tallies with my plan. Look, this is a secondary trade because it is built on impatience. I am an impatient guy. I like things to happen fast, fast. So if you're like me, there's problem. If you don't handle this particular impatient, it's going to mess up with your analysis. Trust me, guys, I've seen shege from impulsive trading, right? And of course, it's going to put you in a state of anxiety and stress, like you're going to be stressed out crazily because your mind is active. Impulsive guys, they want to be hyperactive. You want to just do something, hold something, like the body they scratch make you do something. So you think maybe the market is where you're going to go and do something. It will humble you. You lose money back to back. But if you have money to keep on losing, you can keep on being impulsive. Maybe by the time you've seen Shege square, or Shege raised to the power of 10, your body will calm down, right? So how to solve impulsiveness is just to be calm at all. You always tell yourself, like one of the things on your trading plan should be calmness. Be calm at always. No matter how exciting a plan is, or maybe you're looking at your chart, no matter how exciting the setup is, before you take the decision, be calm enough to refer back to your trading plan. Don't just take the decision and feel as if and of course this impulsiveness, it happens maybe you're fearing of missing. Jesus, before I go and look at my trading plan, this thing go don't go. Let me just take the trade and then I'll go. Market have take out of the market and take the small money they're supposed to use and managing. Okay, so let us go to the next one. Okay, anger. Of course, anger is a secondary trait. Okay, and it happens after you've done an impulsive trade. Maybe you're like, Jesus, I don't see this particular setup. It's going to play out. Maybe you don't go Binance, place a trade, pap, and as you're placing the trade, you know this 2 minutes, you don't hit stop loss. You're angry that Jesus, which kind of useless trade is? And for now, you want to revenge. It's okay. I've seen my error. Okay, now I do mistake. Your mind has. Do you know what funny about this is? They happen so fast. Okay, all of these emotions, but you're not going to know. That's why if you need to be calm enough to know when these emotions, when you're being led by your emotions, because anybody that is led by his emotion is in trouble. They always say trade like a robot. A robot is not angry. Robot is not. They don't have emotions. Of course, you cannot treat them like robot because you're human, but then you can actually train yourself to be able to manage the emotions. So anger, let's say you've taken a impulsive decision and then you be like, you're not taking out the market. Then something will tell you that, guy, no, check this place. This is the possible order block. This is the possible area of value. Before you know, even without checking on your plan, or even without calming down, like you already experienced a loss. So instead of you to calm down because of your anger that you hit a loss, you now go and take it that I must make back this money. They don't burn this market, make it take my money. Pia, you revenge trade. As they revenge it now, so the market go jam another stop loss again. Okay, and anger causes you to trade impulsively. Because the moment you're angry, that is when your eye will just open and then you see something that looks like a setup. If you're not careful to check your plan again, now so you go take lose. The market does not care. We are all humans and you're going to experience this in real life, except if you don't want to trade. Okay, and of course, anger can lead into impatience. You're angry that you keep on hitting stop loss back to back. Like, why am I hitting stop loss? Before you do, you're like, you want to melt all your anger on the market. The market is all looking at you. The market has no feeling. It doesn't care. So you need to learn how to control yourself because the market is neutral. Honestly, that's why I tag this particular session, your emotions versus your success. So it is you against you. The fight is you against, although people tell that the fight is against you and other traders, but trust me, guys, the fight is against you and yourself, your emotions. Right? So high tendency to quit when confronted with a few ugly situations. Because the moment you begin to have back-to-back, if you have anger, the moment you begin to have back-to-back losses, before you know, you be quick to stop like this trade, this time. I don't give up. What the fuck? What? Sorry for using that vulgar language. What is wrong with this market? Can't I just get like I was angry as I'm recording this course in 2023 now. I've had a series of losing streak, and then this streak was the way I was losing by it was following a particular pattern. Those students in my mentorship section now would understand what I'm trying to say now because I've been explaining it to them. Like all my losses are following a predictable pattern. Like I was so frustrated. I had even had this anger issue, but I've not quit cryptocurrency since. But because of I always learned my problem. I'm not the angry person. My problem is impulsiveness. So anger is not my problem. So I know how to handle anger issues because you can see it's a secondary. It is built. It is other factors that are influencing it. It cannot just stand on its own. Probably it's a losing trade that will make you to be angry. Okay, so that's just how anger affects you. And of course, it's going to make you to take some irrational decisions. So always try to be calm. If you're angry, yes, be angry, but don't elongate the anger, right? So let us proceed. Of course, revenge trading, very beautiful. Now, what is revenge? Just as the name implies, revenge trading. Revenge trading is where you enter the market long, and then the market chop your $20. Like, give it this market, you chop my $20. I must revenge. You must like you want the market to pay you by force, as if it's the market that make you to take a wrong trade decision. Your analysis was wrong. The market took you, and then you vex for the market. You want to go back and use vex and collect. They use vex collect money. So revenge trading is also a secondary trade as it works hand in hand with anger. Maybe when you do your analysis and the analysis was close, this nearly hit, almost kill a bit, near success syndrome. You took a trade and then the trade was going in your favor, and then small thing made the trade to go against you. You be like, wait, this trade go against me. Oh, I almost got it to Kai. Before, like, you're not even thinking, you now begin to act out of your impulsive nature. You want to revenge and make back your money because the market collects for you $20. You want to use Vex. You want to go use high leverage. You want to revenge so you're able to pack all the money at once. You're not going to use 100x leverage. As you use 100x leverage, you could just see minus 200% or probably Caesar to send you a love letter liquidation, right? So let's be conscious of this particular. See, it happens unconsciously, all right? So happens unconsciously. So you need to train yourself to be calm enough to know when you are revenge trading and stop it immediately. See, you this thing, but you not going to even know say they happen. You just see yourself acting. You don't be like, oh, wait, to calm down. Wait, am I just revenge trading? Like that, you speak to yourself like that because you're not even going to know when it is happening, right? So always be mindful. See, revenge trading, you're going to listen about what they're talking about. If you're yet to trade, you're not going to understand them. Calm down first. Watch this video. Watch the video. When you begin to interact with the market, come back and you be like, this guy talk this thing, no, right? So that's just all about revenge. Of course, you need to be calm at always. Be calm and always make reference to your trading plan. So how to handle these emotions is it's all the same thing because emotion and emotion, how to handle them is very, very simple. Just be calm, follow your rules. All right, so let's go to the next one. Okay, jealousy. And that's why we'll be like, how jealousy take the affect trading now? Like jealousy cannot affect trading, but the moment you see Opara always sharing his profit, you'll be propelled to want to go and take a trade when you're not supposed to take a trade. Probably if you're a swing trader, swing traders, their trade tend to take a long period of time before it plays out. I mean, I'm a scalp trader. My trade can play out within short period of time. And because of I'm always posting PNL, my screenshot of my profit, you begin to feel like Jesus, Opara the cash out too. Before you know, you begin to have this kind of push to go against your trading plan. That is jealous because you're already being jealous of my results. If maybe Tunde is always talking about how he does this, how he looks at how he sees setup in maybe the moment you open the chat, Tunde will just do an analysis, he will just drop up for your status. Tunde they trade. Maybe you never sent it for the market. The market is you trade what you see. What Tunde might be seeing is different from what you're seeing. There are different factors that can account for that. Maybe Tunde open the market and see something, and then he takes a trade in favor of that. He makes money. You will open the market, you don't see anything, but because of your jealous, you want to meet up. You don't want to disappoint. You want to show them that 237 a trader. You just go and open the chart, and even if you're not seeing anything, you want to take a decision just so you're active. What is causing that in jealousy? But if not that I'm calling your attention, you might not even know. Or maybe when on the group chat and then everybody's dropping their chat, and then you're not seeing anything on the chat, but because of people are dropping the chat, they're pressure on it too much. And before you know, you're going your chat, you just go and do any kind of lousy analysis and come and share it there. At the end of the day, you chop stop loss. Okay. And then the moment you're jealous, you're gonna be an impatient and an angry trader. Why you open your chat normally? You're waiting for your setup supposed to wait to. Instead of you to wait for price to come and meet you, because you see another person celebrating his win, you now go and start getting angry that why this I know if anytime I open my chat, I'll not see anything. Before that is going to want to force you to take a decision when there was not any decision that favors your analysis or favors your plan. Right? So you can see how this is secondary because it is built upon other psychological traits. Right? And of course, how do you handle jealousy? I always tell people, get as person will oppress you with result, but block comes just for your mental sanity. Block him until you're able to train yourself not to get jealous or not to get carried away by that person's result. Even if you're in a group chat and then we are disturbing you, archive the group so you not be seeing anything. So far as you're still learning, but archive the group. The more you begin to develop yourself, then you feel okay, you've gotten an edge over jealousy, then you can come back and begin to view some of those status. This is what I did. There were certain people that if I look at their status, I was still learning future trading. I know how the thing been the struggle me, even now it's still hard in me. And then somebody will be there sharing sharing the money he's making. I'm like, God, am I a stone? Why can't I learn this thing? That is jealousy coming into play. And for you, it's going to begin to make me feel depressed or demoralized, probably because I'm not getting the kind of result that person is getting. But ideally, it's not supposed to be like that. I'm actually what? We're actually at different stages of mastery. But because of we are humans now, maybe the person that is sharing, the tunde that is sharing on the status is your junior. Be like, this guy's my junior. Now, why is he cashing on me? I'm not doing anything. You don't know that is jealousy beginning to interfere with your trade. Before you know that, you just open your chat and okay, I'll see buy setup. Okay, it's not buy setup. Now your jealousy eye they make you see buy setup. Because the moment you're taking that trade, now stop loss. All right. So always choose calmness regardless. All right. So now let's go to the final note as we wrap up this section. Okay. Nobody can teach you how to effectively manage your psychology because no two human beings have the same emotional component. Okay, you can see that what I was doing here, I was not really teaching you how to handle emotional or psychological trade. I was not really teaching you how to get better psychology. No, I was just what informing you about some of the possible psychological traits that can interfere with your trading. Because if you can see, I told them I'm an impulsive trader. And if you look at the way I was explaining this thing now, there was more like impulsiveness in everything I was doing because my major trait, psychological trait is impulsiveness. So it affects all from my fear, from my greed. There's touch of impulsiveness there. So whatever I'm teaching you now is going to be in line with my impulsiveness. And if you want to follow what works for me, you might not put yourself in trouble. Maybe if your own issue is an anger issue, maybe impulsiveness. Because no matter as I try to teach you about psychology, my answer or my opinion will be going in line with my own psychological makeup. So because of in as much as you can learn from my experience, because we all have a touch of this psychological component, in as much as you can learn from my experience, you cannot use what worked for me and expect it to. You cannot learn what worked for me and expect it to work for you. It might work for you to some extent, but you need to actually find your own psychological edge. So the work of finding your psychological edge is solely your responsibility. Nobody will teach you this one. Okay, so what I just did there is more like an awareness campaign. To find out, okay, but be careful. This emotion is possible in the market. Be careful. Be highlighted. Okay. Note number 2: it's great to practice without actively trading, but for you to understand practically how your emotions affect your trading, you need to fund your account and trade live. I'm a fan of practice. Go on your trading view, draw lines, practice technical analysis. Yes, it's good for your trading tactics and your trading strategy. It's beautiful that you backtest without involving your funds. But brothers and sisters, if you really want to understand how you're trading, if you really want to understand your trading or psychological makeup, you need to fund and trade practically. Even a demo account cannot reveal to you your psychological makeup. No, you need to fund your account. Yeah, when I say fund your account, I don't mean you want to fund your account with 100,000. No, thanks to future trading, it's as low as even $2. You can start trading with $2, and I can tell you that even trading with $2 will reveal your emotions to you. Because that $2 now money. For you to fund your account with $2, it means you don't really have so much money, right? So that $2 is a big amount of money. The moment the trade begins to, you begin to feel all of it. Although it might not be as intense as when you're using a tangible sum of money. But then, if you want to really unlock or know what psychological makeup you have, right, you need to fund your account and test practically. Like you need to take a trade and watch the trade either hit stop loss or hit profit, so that you're able to build yourself. Because this psychological component, right, they do not really affect you when you're taking a loss. They won't affect you when you're winning. They always say it's not by how much you lose when you're wrong. It's by how much you make when you're correct. See, you see this language, but it might look small, but the moment you begin to interact with the market, you're going to understand that it's not small. Because waiting for a legit analysis to play out well, it requires, should I say, a special grace of God. Because at some point, it's the special grace of God. So without money, without any fund, it is easy for you to say TP smashed. You do your analysis and share before and after TP smash. But the moment you begin to trade, the emotion will tell that you begin to see fear and greed begin to play you. Maybe the thing trigger your profit and then the market is moving your direction. Oga, wait, let the market get your final TP. Fear will begin to tell you, well, take profit, or this market feel reverse, so take profit. Before you know, the market will all do small retracement, you're already scared and then you have exited the market. And then the moment you exit the market will reverse and go hit your TP. You now begin to get angry. See, don't get angry. It is normal thing. If you don't learn how to manage your emotions, you will never ever make serious progress in this industry. Right? So let's go to the next slide now. Different account size affect your emotions differently. By account, I mean this amount of money you use to open your account. Of course, the psychological amounts, the psychological trade attached to huge amount of money different from that attached to small. So if you're using a 10K account, I'm using a 100K account. Our psychology go different, right? If I hit 10% stop loss, now 10K don't go. Like I've lost 10K. If you 10% stop loss, it's just 1K. So you can see that your brain can easily adjust to 1K loss than a 10K loss. So imagine somebody is using 100 million. A 10% loss is 10 million, guys. So losing 10 million naira, you imagine someone that I've never seen 500,000. I'm thinking of losing 10 million. It goes scatter your head, right? So different. Like that's why you need to be growth conscious. Always seek to grow. Don't be in a hurry to start trading a big account, and don't be too stuck with small accounts. You know, people like I've gone and save. I want to save, or I want to start trading small to trade. Give me signal. You have gone and carry your license. You want to start trading. Oh, you lose that money. Build your psychology by starting from small accounts and move progressively. Don't be too stuck with small because the moment you're stuck with small account, but your psychology will adjust. The human mind is impressionable, they call it. It's just like a sponge. A sponge can absorb water. If you put a sponge inside inside a foam or a foam inside water, it's going to absorb the water. So the brain absorb what you give to it. So if you keep on giving your if you keep on exposing your psychology to small account, everything's going to adjust to small account. So the day you go have big accounts, Baba, you go paralyze. You that you're being very, very profitable with small accounts, you begin to mess up with big accounts. Not because of your trading strategy is different, but because of what your psychological makeup is yet to adjust to big accounts. So you move progressively, as you begin to trade small accounts, as you become profitable, seek to expand small, and of course we're going to grow big. Of course, I told you guys one of the things in this cryptocurrency is your ability to think big. I cannot be learning, putting all this energy now to teach how to trade, and you tell me that you want to be $100 trading, God forbid, on your behalf, God forbid. We are not here to trade in 3 figures, even 4 figures. We have to trade in hundreds of thousands of dollars, in millions, hundreds of millions. I'll say it, I'll keep on saying it. I'm going to open a trade one day with 400 million, a single trade. I'll say, okay, I want to long Bitcoin, I want to short Bitcoin. How much your margin? 400 million. Yes, it's going to happen. People they don't get too ahead. It's just a matter of time. All right. So engage with the market as much as possible to really unlock possible emotional makeup that can interfere with your result. I really explain this particular one. There are certain things that you can never know except you engage with the market. So always engage with the market. That's why I say it's good for you to use a small amount of money. And of course, apply proper risk management. See, with a $10 account, but you can know a lot of your emotional makeup. See, I started when I was started practicing, but I started using a $10 account. Almost the thing bash me. I know there was a time I didn't even sleep because of a $10 account because I was having back-to-back losses. $10 is less than 5K. But you can see how it made me normally or before I can go and just buy. I subscribe my phone in a month more than 5K. But because of I'm just losing small 400 and $1, it make me no sleep. I was like, God, why am I doing? Like you can see how what that small account is exposing me to some of the psychological makeup that can affect my trading. All right. So always seek to trade or actively participate in the market, right? So applying proper risk management will help you develop a better psychology. Of course, the moment you learn about risk management, if you begin to follow a proper risk management, you should be able to develop a better psychology. Okay, if you're not sticking to a proper risk management, if you're not using your trading rule, your psychology is going to be battered. Like you'll be experiencing ups and downs to psychology. So always find a workable risk management strategy and stick to it. Okay, the more emotionally attached you have, the more emotional attachment you have for winning trade, the more your losing trade will get at you. This is just the honest truth. I don't really know how to explain this one, but I will try. Okay, if you win, if you hit TP and you're overexcited, say, "Oh boy, I'm a beast!" You go on your Twitter and you're making us. I've done this thing. You go on your WhatsApp and you're sharing your PNL, you're pressing your neighbor. See, if you're that excited about the winning trade, if a losing trade should jam you, the way you were excited, super excited, you'll be super depressed when a losing trade hits you. So, like I said, trade like a robot. Even if you win, you're not going to be so much excited. If you lose, you're not going to be so much excited. Of course, you can just maybe share your wins just to encourage yourself and build your confidence, but don't allow it to get you ahead. All right? Because if you get you don't you if you're not trading live, right, just come back to this video again. The time you begin to trade live, you understand what I'm trying to say. All right. So don't be emotionally attached to either your wins or your loss. Okay. So these emotions are not bad. What you need to understand that these emotions are not bad. All of this greed, you can say when I tell you about greed is good. Fear is also good because fear is going to help you from what? From taking some form of crazy risks like that. There are some risks that are not worth in the market, and the only thing that can make you not to take that risk is fear. So these emotions they're not good or bad in themselves. Just learn to strike a balance. Impulsiveness, there are certain times that you need to be impulsive, if not, you will not catch some life-changing opportunity. The market can be very, very crazy. No, we say when we're talking about patience, the market, nobody knows when the market is going to play out. There are times that I've entered the trade and in less than 3 minutes, the trade went from trigger to TP. The movement was so rapid. So that particular moment now, there can be an exemption from impulsiveness. So you're able to catch this kind of movement, right? All you need to just learn how to strike the balance. Okay. Let's go now. Don't try to stop or completely eliminate a specific emotional trait that frequently affects your trading decision. You are human, and these emotions can never be deleted. Of course, a lot of people say that I'll call them teach you how to stop being afraid of the market. There's some people who go and post on their Twitter, be fearless. Of course, nobody can be fearless. You're human, just as you know. If you're watching a TV like a lion, I can never fear a lion. The moment you see a lion, body go shake. Yeah, body go shake you. But because of you still have that, you're built with that emotional component. So regardless of how you learn about emotional psychology, the moment you begin to take it, even if you become a pro, I'm saying I'm going to trade with 400 million. The day I know somebody go shake me. Because guy, if you lose 10%, it's 40 million. So you're definitely going to be scared. But then learning how to manage this thing is what is going to make you a super successful trader. So never ever you say you want to stop it. I cannot say I want to stop being an impulsive guy. I'm not going to be wasting my time, just like pouring water into a basket. But I'm going to learn how to manage it. And how do I manage it? By building a trading plan that leverages the strength of that emotion and discipline yourself to follow through with that plan. This is powerful. Okay. As I'm an impulsive guy now, I'm going to build a trading plan that caters my impulsiveness. So I was okay, before I take a trade, there must be this. Maybe I will put like 3 passwords in my laptop. So the moment I open password number one, even if the impulsiveness is still pushing me, I open password number two, open password number three. I don't already come down and say, wait. I'm just wait. Am I sure I'm not trading impulsively? I said, let me go and check my journal. Then from there, body will calm down. You understand? This is just one way I'm trying to do that. Since I've been thinking about doing it, so I'll be able to use my because guy, my impulsiveness is top notch. It's above this is super. I'll finish and I'm not going to trade impulsively. In the next few minutes, this is me going back to the market to trade impulsively. I'm still learning how to manage that impulsive nature because I cannot delete it completely. That is who I was right from time. So I can only learn to build a trading plan that leverages on the strength of that my impulsive nature. Right? And of course, since I'm an impulsive trader, I love seeing things happen fast. I will not want to go for swing trading or position trading that are long-term trades. I want to go for short-term trades that play out really, really fast. So if they make me if you help me to have a much more stable psychological mindset or psychological state. So you can see how I'm telling you how you can build a trading plan. So if you're somebody that now you know that you're this kind of very, very patient, you know they too like stress. You can be a swinger. If you're this very, very patient type, you can be a swinger. You take a trade and then you can allow it, you can fully be at ease and allow the trade to play out. Me, some trade I can do it like that, but most of the time I want sharp things. Let me just say that it hit TP and pia. And for us now, since I'm waiting for hit entry and TP, I'm going to be taking like small trade. My TP might be very, very small. So you're a swinger, you might use a very huge TP. At the end of the day, you're going to make more profit than me, but you're going to take longer time. So me, I might use 30 minutes to get profit, and you might use maybe like 2 days or even 3 days for you to hit your final TP. So we all have different psychological makeup, and then you're going to you need to learn how to find what works for you. Right. So every negative psychological trait that affects your trading results can be effectively handled when the right measure of discipline is applied. See, you see this discipline, but if you have to study discipline, go and study discipline. Because if you're not a disciplined person, you would never succeed in trading. I need to be blunt with you. You would never succeed in trading. Because trading alone is going to change your lifestyle. Right? So I see you want to make money, right? And then person say the only way you can make money, like the only way you can make money in this industry is when you're disciplined. And you're like, no, I've lived my life without discipline and then I'm being successful. In trading, it cannot happen. If you come with that mentality, you go collect woto. Right? So go on. Discipline is a whole concept on its own. So go and study this. I don't fit teach you discipline. We're all adults here. I can't. You're learning online. You've never seen me. You will never probably never see me. I can't come to your home and start flogging you. Go and trade. Go and trade. Go and don't impulsive trade. No, it's you to. It's your fight. If you want to be successful, you force yourself to be disciplined. Okay. Watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and read books where other experienced traders share how they were able to build strong psychological edge in the market. Now, so much more asking now, how did your partner know how some of this psychology, anger, this jealousy? I knew that because I was able to study and listen to other experienced traders share their experience. So just as I'm sharing my experience now, you're already getting to know about some of these things and how they can affect your trading. Go in search for other psychological materials. You can ask me in the group chat and I'm going to make reference to a few and then you can go and read. One of the books I read is Trading Edge by Mark Douglas. Very beautiful trading book. It can be boring, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's going to be exciting to read. It's going to help you also build your discipline and teach you how to become a much more effective trader. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the section. I'm sorry for it being this long, but I needed to take my time to explain some of these concepts, right? So if you have any question, send it to me on the group chat or via DM, and I'll be glad to respond to you. Okay, so see you guys on the other side. Bye bye.